Happy Sunday, fun day, crypto fam. Welcome to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as it looks like we're about to recapture 42,000. Also breaking news, X launches dedicated payments account and the crypto community speculates. I'll be breaking this down for you. As well as Franklin Templeton CEO says she's seen Bitcoin demand around the world, touting suite of opportunities in crypto. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin ETFs amass a whopping 95,000 BTC in 6 days, approaching 4 billion in assets under management, as well as Blackrock seeks SEC approval to offer options on their spot Bitcoin ETF. Meanwhile, iShares Bitcoin Trust now holds 28,622 BTC in 1 frickin' week, family. Now, quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, these two guys are loving the Bitcoin sale going on right now. Wouldn't be surprised if major news hits the tape next week, referring to the Saudis making a massive 1 million Bitcoin purchase, launching a $100,000 God candle. He also says, loving the price action. Wouldn't be surprised if this news hits the tape next week in regards to Qatar transferring or converting their $500 billion sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin. I'll be breaking all this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Congrats, fam. We're back in the green. Happy Sunday, fun day. Church is officially in session. You know, I be preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi each and every day. Shout out to everyone in that live chat. How's it going, family? Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. We greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Palm Beach Chris. What it do? Flying Tiger in the building. Melted up. Frank the Tank Degen was popping. Shout out to Nipsey in the background. Appreciate it. Send that mofo, says Robbie Kaiser. Cheers, family. Mark says 46 coming soon. Bring it. We've gone from neutral to greed, but I still reckon we have similar dip to come end of the month, says Ghost Stomper. What up, Johnny J? Good to see you as well. Sailing with Twins, JV, my broski. One love. It might keep on bouncing up and down this channel for a couple of months, then take off high, says Mark. Good morning, good afternoon, Jennifer Conkright. Appreciate you tuning into the live stream. Let's go. Greetings from Durban, South Africa. Cheers. Big monumental celebration for all South Africans as you now have a UFC champion as of last night or very early this morning, depending upon your time zone. How many of you watched the fight? Let me know. Do you think Strickland should have won? It was a split decision. A lot of the analysts are saying that they had Strickland, including Joe Rogan. Evening all. Shout out to Cuff. The legend of Melda continues. Good afternoon, family. Loud and clear, says Boz. Shout out to Africa, fam. What up from the West Coast? West Side. Skunk, welcome. Abdel, welcome. I vote Bitcoin for the world currency. I think we all agree on that one. Morning, team. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome, Jose Colon. What up, brother? Broski's in the building. Peace, big dog. Cheers, Tip Tyler. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. California. Danny Diaz, welcome, welcome. Brian Mathis, welcome. Manjus, welcome. Imagine they bought 1 million coins for 1 minute. For real, that's what we're discussing. So don't get it twisted. We're not talking about a $1 million buy. That's nothing. That's not noteworthy of a headline. We're talking about purchasing 1 million Bitcoin. Drastic difference, just to clear that up. What up, Jordan? JB, what do you think the price will go lower before the halving? Yeah, I mean, history shows us we tend to kind of correct before the halving. It's after the halving, we go absolutely parabolic. So JV's prediction is post-halving, new all-time high in 2024. Done deal. What do you guys think? 50,000 by my B-Day? I hope you're right, Jennifer. I'd love to see that as well. Holy Duke, what it do? Fausto, 38,000, then bounce off to that 50 Gs. Let's go. That's what's up. Keep saying it. We'll speak it into existence. Why not? We could see 50,000 easy for end of the month. Yeah, I mean, I've been predicting 50,000 by the end of January since the start of January. Now, clearly, we corrected quite a bit, but the offloading will only be able to continue for so much longer. And GBTC keeps dumping onto the market. Give me that big, fat, green candle. Amen, Adam. Good evening from Sweden. Shout out to Bear the Bull. Appreciate you. Now to 1 million bring it. We could see 50 G's easy. I agree, Frank. It's very doable still. We never had new ETFs before. The halving this time is different. Pretty much a lot of things have changed in the past 4 years. There is no chance Bitcoin drops below 40,000 unless there's a black swan event. Maybe this way. 40,000's been holding steady, lads. So let's see. Maybe 40 is the new 20, like back in previous cycle. What do you guys think? Cheering up from Rico, Peru. Shout out Fablo over there in Peru. Appreciate your support. The Saudis been saying they are buying for weeks now, yet nothing, says the cuff. Strickland won rounds 1, 2, and 5. So there you go. James says Strickland won that fight. I'm waiting on 38 G's, says Melvin. It may happen, it may not, so be prepared either way, please. I think 50 G's second week of February, but I'm only a humble third world gamer. Hey, keep it 100, family. Cheers to you. Supply crunch coming. Yeah, definitely a very limited supply of biddies out there available. Arab money. Now we're talking. Danny Diaz. Cheers, family. Anyone else here just tuning into the stream? Remember, we're not only live and in the flesh, but this is interactive, so please let me know where you're tuning in from, fam. Where do you think flow will be this bull run? Hopefully it's flowing along with Bitcoin versus crashing. So you have my hope, but I have no clue. Any price is possible as long as up. Yeah, zooming out, we've had a 15-year bull run for Bitcoin. If you zoom out, like for real on the charts, and we will continue to go up. No doubt about it. It's a long-term thing. It's not short-term. Short-term, no one can predict up or down, up or down. The market makers are going to make sure they continue to win, so the price will go up and down. But over the long haul, you can't stop it, baby. From Arizona, shout out to Flip those cryptos. St. Pete, are you talking about St. Pete, Russia, or St. Pete, Florida? I lived in Clearwater near St. Pete, Florida, so I asked Mr. Matt Cool what it do. The difference between 38 and 41 is peanuts. Good point. Yo, what up? Had to join to show some support. Appreciate that. Flip the cryptos. Grayscale Bitcoin sales should dry up in a couple of weeks, and then we'll see the ETFs effect on the price. Precisely. There's only so much dumping they can do. And guess what? GBTC no longer holds 620,000 Bitcoin. They're in the 500,000 range because they've been dumping it. What up, JB? Stack them biddies. Shout out Raziel. Accumulation time, fam. It's all good. We know where Bitcoin is going. Amen. Bitcoin waits for no one. I am stacking as much as possible. Preach. Seminole, Florida. My old stomping grounds again. Clearwater. Not too far from you. Pinellas County in the building. Shout out to Grant. Appreciate you. If we didn't drop under 40 during this epic grayscale dump, what makes you think we're going under 38? Seriously? Excellent point there, Flying Tiger. Give some more black swans need to top up. Yeah, you guys are praying and hoping for these black swans to continue stacking sats. Doge to the moon soon, says Fausto. Do you think Elon will add Doge as a payment method for, we're actually going to be discussing the launch of the X payments here in a little bit, so we'll save it for that talk for there. But yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll be implementing Doge. Will he implement Bitcoin? What are your thoughts? JV, did you do a Rumble after YouTube yesterday? I did. Rumble was acting up. People couldn't find it because typically on Rumble we'll have like 300 people at the peak. However, there was only like 30 or 40 people. So when we started on Rumble, there's usually 200 people already there. There was like 10 people there. So I think Rumble had glitches yesterday. And we're also streaming right now on Rumble today. We stream on Rumble every day. So it's a dual live stream. We're on YouTube and Rumble. When the YouTube stream ends, we continue with the exclusive uncensored version of the show on Rumble is how it works. But sometimes Rumble can be glitchy, unfortunately. It just is what it is. Carlos, Bitcoin price is irrelevant for the institutional money. Those guys have unlimited supply of USD at a single keystroke. Preach. The future is bright, 100%. You don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. Well said. Let's go. It took like 15 minutes for the stream to come through to Rumble yesterday. That would explain why nobody was on it. Thank you. Smash that like button. Thank you, Jose. I think they were having technical difficulties on the platform for whatever reason. I heard a lot of people complaining about Rumble yesterday. So just wasn't my stream. Couldn't find it yesterday. Yeah, that sucks. It is up, but yeah, it only has like a couple of hundred views versus a few thousand views because no one was able to find it. Hopefully it's all fixed. Elon is controlled. He daren't promote BTC. I agree with you, END. Agree. They can want all the cheap sat hodlers hodling and letting go, pretty much. But the long-term hodlers shall prevail, and the majority of the Bitcoin supply right now is in the hands of the long-term hodlers, diamond hands. I'm not throwing up no Illuminati sign. I just wanted to make a diamond. Just FYI for the record. Not letting go. I still can't believe how early we are. Kudos to everyone on the Bitcoin train. Cheers to that. Bitcoin has 2 stages going up and prepping to go up precisely. Dude, you covered this news yesterday. Well, I have more insights to share with you. I pulled up more stories, family. So we're going to dive deeper today. But yeah, similar headline, similar featured story. But you also got to keep in mind, just to keep it 100, this is a 2-hour live stream. So the featured story is typically 10 to 15 minutes at the max. So you're going to have like all new content today. Even with the featured story, I pulled in some new content not shared yesterday. You know how JV gets down. I put in hours of research every day before I go live. So it's not like I just pop on live and talk ish. I prepare a show. This is a legitimate pod, hence why we're the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. And I hang out live, and I answer all your questions, and I read all your comments out loud. Don't get much better than that. But anyways, family, pump the likes to help pump the stream. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also be sure to smash the like, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, helps get more eyeballs on the channel. Also, to make sure you get notifications, you got to hit the bell icon and make sure you turn on all notifications. Otherwise, YouTube will not let you know when JV goes live. So very, very important. Today is pod episode number 1529. I'm your host, JV, and today is January 21st, 2024. Let's dive right in with our market watch as we have Bitcoin pumping and the market back in the green here on Sunday. You can see Bitcoin up 0.25%, hovering above 41,900 and about to recapture 42 G's, baby. We have Ether also up 0.5%, maintaining just under 2,500, while BNB, Solana, Cardano, and XRP are also in the green, but barely on the day. And zooming out on the monthly, we got Bitcoin down 4.5%, Ether up 11%, BNB is the big gainer, up 19%, while Cardano, bleeding on the monthly, down roughly 19%, and you got XRP below that, down 11% on the month. Also, AVAX down 27% and Polkadot down 17%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 1.64 trillion with a roughly 31 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. So volume is down 20% today. And we have the Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 49.7%, with the Ether dominance sticking at around 18.1%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we have Manta up 9.5%, trading at $2.50, followed by Ronin up 8%, trading at $2.45, followed by the Pith Network up 7%, trading above 43 cents. Below that, we have Astar, Satoshi Vision, Frax, Share, and Thorchain. Now, which altcoins are you most bullish on for this bull run, 2024-2025? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective, you can see the majority of the alts back in the green after a pretty bloody overall week for the altcoin market. Some of the biggest gainers are Ron, Astar, and Satoshi Vision, along with Pith, as I mentioned earlier. And zooming out on the monthly, you can see still some pretty impressive gains. Say is up 94%, SC 81%, Celestia 38%, and PLS 91.6%. Shout out to DJ. He just gifted a MicroStrategy membership of the channel to Boz Dragon. So congratulations, Boz. We do truly have the most incredible community. You guys are always giving. Yesterday, there was over 20 memberships given away on the channel. So it pays to comment and be active in the chat, fam. Also, checking out the Crypto Greed Inferior Index, we're currently rated at 56 greed. Yesterday, 52. Last week, 60. And last month, a 74 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, welcome everyone just joining the stream. Church is in session. Big Papa Pill, what it do, cuz? Got bags of Astar, Rune, and Pith up like 200% on them. Congratulations, because those are the top gainers. So well done, family. Kronos says Flying Tiger. Right on. That's the crypto.com exchange coin. Thank you guys. We appreciate all the giving. Cheers, family. Mr. Bone Daddy, what it do? I have Tron as my only alt, says Jennifer. XRP underperforming as usual. Precisely. My birthday is today, and Nipsey promised a 42,000 price level. Well, bada boom, bada bing. We're on the cusp of 42 G's. Happy birthday, Rick. Everyone show Rick some birthday love to the fam. We appreciate it. Hey, JV and Nip, shout out to the crypto mama. Ethereum Classic code is law, baby. Word. Yeah, Ethereum Classic always doing its thing. It's been around for quite some time. Orange pill in the world. 100%, one day at a time. You know how we do. Got a few Tron too. Jen says Adam. Right on. Fun fairs. UK in the building. JV watching for Cornwall, England. Cheers to England and all my peeps out there in the London area. We appreciate y'all. Bought a little Doge for the X payments hype. Ready for the Elon to send to the moon. We're going to be discussing about the X payments hype here in a little bit after we do our TNA. Happy birthday, Rick. Celebration. I'd sing, but I don't want your ears to bleed. So we'll just say happy birthday and leave it at that. That's what's up. Celebration time. XR stablecoin, says Cosmo. Is that a stablecoin you're referring to? I'm not familiar with. Or are you making fun of XRP calling it a stablecoin? Binghamton, England in the building. Shout out to Donna. Cesarella. Sounds like you're Italiano. Let me know. Mark, time to get our daily dose of Sailor wisdom. You're damn right. Sailor, are you here on the stream, brother? If you're here, they're requesting you. Let's see if he's here. He can come out, share some wise words.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, so quit wasting your money on marketing schemes. Mr. Bone Daddy, cheers family, just gifted a membership to Crypto Cajun. You've been blessed. Appreciate that. Happy birthday, guys. Much love. We celebrating here. What you sipping on, apple cider vinegar? You know how I do. This is the hum. This is the secret to life force right here. The probiotic kombucha with the less sugar. This is the mango passion fruit. I think I've been drinking it now on the stream for a couple of months. Practically every day except the days I run out. What up, Abel? Shout out to the Giga Chad, 100%. R. Herrera, welcome. Crypto Cajun says, thanks for the membership. That's what's up. Mr. Bone Daddy hooking it up. We appreciate it. 1 million, huh? That should make a difference. We're not talking about $1 million, big dog. We're talking about 1 million Bitcoin. So someone multiply 1 million for Bitcoin times $41,800. Can someone do that for me? Because there's a big difference between a $1 million purchase and a 1 million Bitcoin purchase. Big difference there. So, hello, Mohammed. Yes. Let me know any insights with your fam there in Dubai, Saudi money. Big buys coming, fam. Is next week? Are the rumors real? Let me know. Let's go. 41 billion. Now we're talking. So yeah, we ain't talking 1 million. We talking 41 billion. If that number is accurate from Tony. Every buy counts. This is true. Even if they announce, yo, we're buying 100,000 worth of Bitcoin, it'd be every headline. Why? Because it means they're getting in, and you know anything they do is big. I mean, they're taking over combat sports, boxing, martial arts. They're making the biggest fights happen. And in boxing, if you've been following, there's never big fights. The top guy never fights the other top guy to become undisputed. Why is that? Politics, and there's not enough money to make it happen. Well, the Saudis say, screw that. Bring your best fighters. We'll pay them. We'll make it happen. And now everyone's happy. And there's plenty of money backing, you know what I mean? Combat sports. So you know how the Saudis do it, family. 41, man, I don't know how to pronounce that number. Is that like 41 billion? I know it's a big number. We'll leave it at that. I had an accident with my motor, so I had to trade some Bitcoin for fiat. And I hope the pump waits for a few weeks so I can buy it back. Right on, Laura. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And thanks Satoshi and God that you had the Bitcoin available to help you in that stressful situation. I'm sure you'll be able to get your biddies back. I can feel the supply shock a-coming. Me too. If you care about decentralization, you're not worried about BlackRock controlling a big percentage of the Bitcoin miners. I am scared, to be honest, says Laura Williams. Well, I think the majority of the Bitcoin supply will always be in the hands of the long-term hodlers, unwilling to give up their biddies to BlackRock. Also, you got to remember the network is decentralized because everyone who runs a node keeps it that ways. Didn't Ed Sheeran just break a world record for the biggest concert in the UAE? I wouldn't be surprised, family. That oil money, next freaking level. You know what I mean?
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
There you go. That's the quote I wanted to share. It's going up forever, Laura. That's just the way the world works. You know what I mean? Laura, Saylor has way more Bitcoin than Blackrock. There you go. Well, Blackrock is accumulating at a very alarming rate. We're going to be touching upon that. But anyways, without further ado, keep the comments coming. Pump the stream by pumping the likes. We already got 500 people here, but we know this is rookie numbers. I know we're capable of getting over 4,000 people on the stream because we already hit that record a couple of weeks ago. So just FYI, pump the likes, pump the stream. And with that being shared, now let's dive into today's Bitcoin TA, aka Astrology for Men, and see where the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us next. Bitcoin edged closer to 42 G's, baby, into the January 21st weekly close, with time almost up on a grim week for the bulls. Here looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour chart, and we're right on the cusp of reclaiming 42,000. Now, TradingView showed the Bitcoin price stabilizing around 41 G's over the weekend, and Bitcoin previously dipped to a low of 40,270 on Bitstamp, its lowest since December 11th. And I believe the high for the past 22 months is roughly 49,000 before we corrected. And while not delivering major downside, Bitcoin offered little hope to those seeking new highs, with market participants looking ahead to the weekly close and return of the Wall Street trading. Quoting Rec Capital, Bitcoin has indeed dropped into the weekly range low after flipping black into new resistance. Weekly close below the range low would be bearish and could begin the breakdown process. He also says Bitcoin has indeed dropped. Oh, I guess I just read that. They repeated it. So there you go. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Rat Capital. And also another trader, Crypto Tony, he maintained the possibility of a trip below 40 G's to come between now and April's block subsidy halving, as he shared here on X. Cheers to Miguel and everyone who is subscribing. Maggie, we appreciate all subscriptions to the channel, fam. Much love. So Tony said, Bitcoin update, mid-range at the moment, but 38 G's I expect as we grind towards the halving in April legends. Let me know if you agree that we can touch 38,000. Now, founder of Crypto Fund, Asymmetric, meanwhile noted, his name is Joe McCann, how little trading volume Bitcoin was now seeing. Quoting him here, Bitcoin volumes have been absolutely decimated post-ETF launch as expected. The spread between implied and realized volume is the widest it has been in a very long time. Now all eyes are on the GBTC sales, which is most likely what's been causing the havoc in the market. The United States spot Bitcoin ETFs continue to be the source of particular interest. As reported, these increased their assets under management to nearly $4 billion since the January 11th launch, helping reduce the impact of selling from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. The latter itself, now an ETF, saw outflows as a result of both high maintenance fees and the desire for existing investors to cash out as par versus spot. Now, cheers to Eric. We appreciate you joining as a member of the channel, so welcome to the MicroStrategy fam. Now, previously, GBTC shares traded at up to a 48% discount versus Bitcoin. GBTC saw outflows of $1.17 billion since its conversion from a trust to an ETF. And quoting trading firm QCP Capital, this is not surprising since GBTC has traded at a discount since 2020, as low as negative 48% at the start of 2023. This ETF conversion has been a long-awaited chance for the GBTC hodlers to exit at par value. The question is how much more of GBTC's current $25.4 billion in assets under management will exit? That's a great question. They were once and still the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world at roughly 620,000 Bitcoin. But at the level they're dumping, they're back in the 500,000 range. And how much more Bitcoin will they dump is the million-dollar question. Quoting them here again, the next major crypto events are the Bitcoin halving, mid-April, roughly 90 days out. And the potential ETH spot ETF approvals for May. I would definitely say the Bitcoin halving in 2024 is 1,000 times more significant than any Ethereum ETF approvals. But what are your thoughts, family? Let me know. And our next story is going to be discussing the X launch of dedicated payments, and we'll be discussing, will they be sharing crypto along with this? You guys let me know. But let me check the chat once again. OTC sellers will run out soon. Hope so. Hello, fam, from Armenia. Shout out, Peter. Appreciate you tuning in. Question, why is the Grayscale selling? I think a lot of their investors are selling. Maybe the high fees. They have the highest fee of all of the ETFs at 1.5% by a dramatic amount. Also, I mean, there's other reasons as well. Also, there's some shenanigans going on. Remember, they replaced Barry Silbert, who has been around from the very beginning with Grayscale. So it's like, who knows what's really going on behind closed doors? It's speculation, but let me know your thoughts, family. Grayscale selling because people are cashing in their shares, so they have to sell then, right, if people are cashing. I thought we might have gone to 38.39, but we keep holding 40,000 and building support, precisely. Geoff, that is false. They do need the coins. End of the month is coming by Stack and Sats. Again, JV. Shout out to the Sea Dog. Never heard of Arculus. That is a wallet. Is that the very thin one that looks like a credit card? Let me know. Is there enough for them to, because I think when we went to the Bitcoin Miami conference, they gave us like a little goodie bag, like from sponsors of the event. And I think they handed those out and they were like credit cards, very thin. Let me know if that's the one. Is there enough for them to accumulate that amount? When everyone is buying, they cannot buy 500. Correct. More than likely, no individual is going to be able to buy just a lump sum of 500,000 Bitcoin or a million Bitcoin, but money talks. And maybe it takes some time, but maybe that could be the goal and they can start their buying spree. Your guess is as good as mine. I've read the ETFs. They need the actual Bitcoin for backing. They're supposed to, but we need to see proof of reserves and we need to audit that. Because actually, later we're going to be discussing Blackrock wants to add options to their Bitcoin ETF. I don't think that's such a good idea. The more room you give them to manipulate the market, guess what they're going to do? Manipulate the market. 100% Jennifer, manipulation. Does SLV and gold or silver and gold have all that they hold? My understanding, according to Max, who has been a financial insider for 40 years, an example of how it works due to derivatives in the precious metal markets, that's how they can continue to manipulate it. So example, I've heard him say this from his own mouth. For every ounce of silver, there's 40 ounces of derivatives, like fake paper money but to represent the precious metals that don't really exist. So for every ounce they're selling in the ETF market of silver or gold, for example, they're selling by a factor of 40 times what they actually have. So basically, if everybody wanted their gold, what is that called? Like a call where all the investors want their assets? It's impossible. It'd be the same with the banking system, the fractional reserve banking system. If everyone did a bank run and said, I want my money, well, the money doesn't exist. The same thing in the gold and the precious metal markets. The precious metals don't exist. They're over leveraged, and that's what they do, and they get away with that. I've noticed Grayscale haven't dumped the price under 40,000. I wonder if this is by decision. But Bitcoin ETF will be different. No way, Jose. Crypto noobs. I test cold storage wallets, and I have problems with Arculus over several months. Customer service is garbage. That sucks. Good to note. I appreciate the insight. So there you heard it first from Crypto noobs. Ballot has nice and easy. Hey, that was what's his name's wallet. The guy who created that wallet was on the channel. I interviewed him, and he's supposed to have sent it to me, and I never received the package. But my fault, I never followed up with him. But I was expecting to be able to review that. Anyways, gold is 1 to 40. Silver is 1 to 107. Wow. So there you have it firsthand. Thank you, Megadon. Are you listening? It's worth 40 to 1. The real number is much worse, 200 to 300 to 1. Not shocked. Same as the US dollar. Corruption at its finest. Phoenix in the building. Stack and hodl, you got that right. I own 50 ounces of silver and about 25 ounces of gold. I call it my get out of country money. Well, as long as you can travel with it, family, because they can confiscate it at the airport. You got to fill out a form if you go to a different country, and it's like, do you declare more than $10,000 worth of assets or cash or whatever? And if you put yes, they'll say, where is it? And then they'll just take it. If you say no and they find it, they're just going to take it and they're going to hold you. So it's crazy, man. So be careful out there. However, I think Nipsey Hussle had it figured out. You can have $40,000 worth of gold chains and they're not going to do anything about it. But gold bars, I don't know. Also, I don't know if this is true. I haven't verified it, but people in the inside tell me they now put tracking devices that you'll never detect inside the gold bars somehow, some way, and they can track where you move it. So, whoa, talk about tyranny. I mean, have you found your hat? I did. We talk about it every day. I did an episode a few days ago. I'm like, I can't find the hat. some mystery. And I found it in the closet right behind me in the same office. Unfortunately, I don't have a crazy story to share. Any advice for me on running my channel? Any pointers? Yes, consistency. In the beginning, no one's going to watch you. Just because you have no followers, YouTube is not going to show your content to anybody. But celebrate the small victories. 10 viewers is better than 0. You know what I mean? 50 viewers is better than 0. So just note it's a long journey. And it's hard being 100% with you. So hopefully you're passionate about creating content, because I didn't start the channel specifically because I needed to make money or something like this. I think a lot of people who put themselves like, I'll give it 30 days, and if it doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to be. Good luck to you, because most people are not going to have any level of success in 30 days. It took me a few years. In fact, even after a few years, I attained some success. Then I got shadow banned and no one can find my content. And I went from, eventually got to 50,000 subs. And then I was stuck there for 2 years because no one was able to find my content. I was shadow banned for whatever reasons. Then they terminated my channel under false pretenses, and they said, you're permanently terminated. You can never create another YouTube account ever again. So it was like a death blow. I'm like, after 1,700 episodes and hundreds of thousands of hours of my time dedicated to creating content, you know what I mean, to help spread this word, you permanently terminate me under false pretenses? And gratefully, I was able to get my channel back 10 days later, but it was only because of you guys made an uproar on X. Everyone was tagging YouTube support, and they're like, yo, just give them the channel back. And then they apologized to me, and here we are. But so it's been a hell of a challenge, but I encourage everyone to be creators, and don't only be dependent on one platform. That's the bigger lesson out of all this. Put your content everywhere, not just on YouTube, because if you're only dependent on one platform, you can get a death blow and you'll never recover from it. However, if you're on Rumble, if you're on X, and you're on all the platforms, if something happened to one platform, at least you're on all the rest. You know what I mean? So that's my advice to you. Hopefully that's helpful. But anyways, family, keep pumping the likes to pump the stream. I appreciate all the interaction, but we got a lot to cover. So let's dive into our next story of the day, discuss the latest with these X payments. The headline reads, X launches dedicated payments account and the crypto community speculates. So here's what's going on. Elon's Everything app, formerly Twitter, created a dedicated account for its upcoming payment feature, fueling crypto community speculation about whether cryptocurrencies will be implemented. $1 million question right here. There is anticipation that the X app will introduce an in-app payment service by mid-2024. However, it's unconfirmed whether the feature will support payments beyond traditional fiat currencies. So there you go. Now, while no posts have been made on the account yet, it holds the gold badge, indicating it's a verified organization. Additionally, it carries the X badge, suggesting it's suggested or associated with X. Now, in a post, crypto researcher Mason shared with his followers his excitement about the possibility of seeing crypto that starts with an X on the app, such as XRP, Stellar, and XDC. What do you guys think regarding that? Here's the guy's post right here. I want to see a massive crypto integration from X. Change the world, Elon. Set the fire to the SEC plus the banks with this play. Now, I guess it becomes a question. Do you think Elon works for those powers that be just referenced? Or do you think he's his own boss and he became the most wealthiest man in the world by going against the grain of the powers that be? Let me know your honest thoughts, family. You already know my answer. Meanwhile, Musk has incorporated Dogecoin for payments on Tesla's merchandise store, along with occasionally mentioning it on social media. Many speculate that it's the most likely crypto to be included on X, if any were to be featured. Now, if he didn't feature crypto, what would you think about Elon? Or hypothetically, let's say he did feature Doge and the only crypto was exclusively Doge and he didn't integrate Bitcoin. Then what would you think about Elon? Let me know. The crypto community analyzed subtle hints from Musk and X over time, suggesting a potential interest in Doge for upcoming projects. In a October 2023 report, a meme featuring a dog answering a phone call, prompting the Dogecoin community to decipher its meaning, which is interesting. Grok or Grok, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but that's ultimately the platform of AI, which is launched on the X platform. So I take Elon is behind that as well. Crypto researcher Tokenizer informed his followers he believes X has shifted its attention away from crypto-friendly content. I noticed that as well. In 2023, X implemented a revenue sharing system for ads, allowing content creators to monetize their content within the app. Kudos to him for that, because I received my first income I just recently turned it on X. I noticed it, and my first income was like $250 range. So you can now monetize your X post, which is pretty cool. I get roughly 2 to 3 million impressions per month. So just to give you some insights, my first check deposited directly into my bank was basically $250. But anyways, he says, feels like X has cut the payments for crypto content lately. He explains he was getting $40 to $70 checks a few months ago, and it went down to 16. But as I mentioned, I just turned that mofo on, and I just got my first payment from them. So they are allowing you to monetize, obviously, crypto, as all my content's 100% crypto. The payment system is based on total impressions content creators accumulate, so it is likely to vary between periods. Since Musk acquired Twitter, all the way back in April 2022, almost 2 years ago, there have been many predictions about the pace at which it will evolve into a completely new platform and the potential integration of crypto, given his ongoing commentary throughout the years. And in July of 2023, as reported, Musk believes that X will eventually be able to offer people the ability to conduct your entire financial world. So ultimately, it's like the everything app. There's an app in China that basically does everything. In fact, it may even be called the everything app. I don't remember. It's been a while. But let me know, family. Clearly, he's looking to take over and have his hands in everything with this everything like X thing. But let me know your thoughts. Hey, JV, have you ever tried GT's Mushroom Elixir live? I haven't. Do you recommend it? Ondu Coin Blackrock. What is that? Grok is pronounced Croc. Oh, so Grok. Thank you, family. Appreciate that. Grok. What a strange name. What does Grok mean? Is that a real word or just a name? Sounds a little weird. Hey, JV, ever... no. Hello from Liverpool. Much love. Oh, yo, Tony Jeffries, LFC Liverpool Film Club in the building. Let's go. I think Doge will be exploited if it was the only token on X. Would be wise to take the top 5. I'm with you on that. I mean, the more the merrier, in my opinion. I think they should have some stable coins like Tether, USDT. I think clearly Bitcoin and possibly even Ethereum being as the second largest crypto. My friend's cat says Grok when he has a hairball lodged in his throat like this. Grok. Something like that. Interesting. X will probably integrate ISO 2022 compliant coins for payments and banking. Lots of the financial institutions working with these coins for various transactions. I think you're onto something. I do think Elon is controlled 100%. And his wealth comes from government subsidies, so therefore the government controls him. But I think he plays a role. I'm anti-government. I said F you to the SEC. I want free speech. But yo, don't be fooled, right? It's called controlled opposition, family. Yeah. WeChat in China. There you go. WeChat. That's the name I was looking for. That basically does everything in one application. Grok is from a Hainan sci-fi novel called Stranger in Strangeland. Yeah, hence why Elon is an extremely strange character. Very demonic things he does. I don't know if you guys recognize that, but the oldest language known to mankind is symbology. And if you see, I don't know if it's still, but his main profile picture was in a demonic costume. And you could translate that however you like, but symbolism is very real. You show me what symbols you're throwing up, and I can tell you what team you're playing on very easily. Grok equals understand. Thank you, JB. Nice to see you. Grok comes from Robert Helleline's book, Stranger to Strange. Actually looked it up. Grok was an alien term that means blending or empathizing. Well, still very weird. Musk is cool. Plays a cool guy. Definitely is a good actor. I'll give him that. Odd symbolism always with him. 100%. John Hoddle. Also, you can research X a little deeper as well. And I think that speaks volumes. Musk is doji. Yes. What? Elon's eyes aren't right. You can't even read and you want to rip on Elon. I can't read. I mean, okay. Thanks for tuning into the pod. I'm just keeping it 100. The things I like about Elon, again, he's now paying ad revenue for content on X, and he's allowing free speech, which prior to the purchase of X or the rebranding of X, he didn't allow it. So those are the two things I respect and like about Elon. So it's not all anti-Elon, oh, I hate Elon. I'm just saying I know who his masters are, and I know he's deceiving 99% of you who are like, Elon's our savior. Save us, Elon, we need you. No one's going to save you if you can't save yourself. Learn from history. If you can't save yourself, nobody saves you. There is no savior. It's called false idols. False idols will not save you either. And there's a lot of false idols you guys love so much. So let me speak my piece. Start your own podcast and talk your own ish. And you can talk about how much you love Elon and how he's going to save the world and save you and that he is your savior. You know what I mean? You'll probably have a much larger audience than I have here. You know what I mean? JV is the best reader I know. Thank you, Melda. Appreciate that. I sucked as a reader when I was a kid. And then I started becoming passionate about reading books. And I still learn a lot. And that's why I love reading this content, because every day there's going to be some word I don't know what the meaning is, and I can look it up and I can add it to my vocabulary. Jerry Fielding, gets over yourself. Nick Levin. Dude, is this supposed to be the alpha? Fakey rockets to nowhere. I wasn't going to say nothing, but someone figured out SpaceX was a fake space program to deceive you about the reality of space and the true nature of the Earth. Yeah, I mean, but I digress. Yeah, I mean, this is YouTube. At the end of the day. So anyways, keep the comments pumping. Let's dive into our next story of the day. We're going to discuss the Bitcoin demand, as the article reads here. Franklin Templeton, CEO, says she has seen Bitcoin demand around the world and touts suites of opportunities. And after the stream ends on YouTube, exclusively on Rumble, we're going to be doing JV Reacts, and I'm actually going to react to this 6-minute interview, but here's some of the highlights. The perception of Bitcoin as a safe haven asset provides a price floor for Bitcoin, according to Jenny Johnson, the president and chief executive of global investment giant Franklin Templeton. Johnson says in a new interview with CNBC that the demand for Bitcoin is evident after the launch of the new spot Bitcoin ETFs. Franklin Templeton's Bitcoin ETF was one of the 11 apps approved by the US SEC just last week. The CEO also notes that they view Bitcoin as just one of a suite of opportunities in the blockchain space, citing the company's decision to launch the first U.S. registered mutual fund to use a public blockchain to process transactions and record share ownership. Johnson says the ETFs will open up access to BTC, but she also notes that people using Bitcoin as protection to keep a floor on the price. Quoting her here, one of the things that made me a believer is I went around the world talking to people. I had somebody who said, I keep 50% of my savings in Bitcoin because if I say the wrong thing in my country, I could have my assets confiscated. Preach! I wonder if she interviewed JV. Nah, if it was JV, it'd be like, I keep 100% of my savings in Bitcoin because if I say the wrong thing in my country, I would have my assets confiscated, just so you know. But anyways, back to her. I remember talking to somebody in Israel who said, my parents and their parents had all of their assets confiscated. They keep a portion of their savings in Bitcoin, so there is a fear component to it that is considered almost an insurance or safety component. Preach. But I also think it is really important to fueling what is the next real opportunity in this blockchain world. So shout out to her right here, the Franklin Templeton CEO. Also, Franklin Templeton account on X recently updated their profile pic to have Benjamin Franklin with laser eyes. And you already know what laser eyes symbolize, fam. And to watch the interview she did on your own accord, check the show notes below the video in the description. Back to some more comments. What up, fam? Shout out Casey. What's good, family? Crypto Lucian. Glad I made it. Love broski. Love, love, love. Trust no man. In God and Bitcoin I trust. Well said. Fun fact. Couldn't have said it better myself. What up? What up? Always a pleasure. Lucian, what's new? Jennifer, I was listening to a scientist who said that the Earth's pole shift is happening fast. He also expects a 90-degree shift of the Earth. That is kind of scary. I say a lot of these scientists are not credible. I don't know which scientist you're referring to, but I wouldn't be scared there, Jennifer, because more than likely everything the scientists teach us or share with us is false. Casey Gates, we appreciate the super or the membership gift family. Looks like, let's see who got blessed. Gregory Mason, you have been blessed. Much love, Casey. We appreciate you. Crypto Mama says, JV reads well. Thank you. I mean, this is a podcast, so we do get 500,000 downloads per month on Spotify and iTunes. People who don't even listen or, watch the video, they just listen. So I'm like, I must be doing something right, or there wouldn't be so many people downloading the pod. But anyways, I digress. I know they're haters. Boz, I learned a new word from Art Breelove today, praxology, but I haven't had a chance to see what it means yet. Every day is a school day, fam. 100%, I look at Earth as a big school session, right? I think we're on this earth to learn as many valuable life lessons as we can. And then I believe our soul goes somewhere I can't explain. And then possibly we come back here, reincarnation. Eventually we learn all the lessons we needed to learn, right? And we won't come back. That's called nirvana. That's called Buddhahood. That's called, becoming godlike, gods and goddesses, however you want to refer to it. Pole shift, quite the opposite. Look into it, says Rudy. There you go. Big love, says Gregory. You do read well. Thank you, Jennifer. I try. And it's not that I read so well, but I have so much experience over the past 5 years doing this every day. So, the sun is local, kids. There we go. Let's freaking go. We are here to build upon our personalities, just passing through. Any thoughts on the Tangent wallet? I've never used it, so I can't speak on it, but a lot of people recommend it. If you guys recommend Tangent, let us know. The mag pole does shift though, but it cannot be predicted in our lifetimes. Automan, JB in the building. Cheers, family. Now, is that like Automan? Was that in The Simpsons? The bus driver? Was that Automan or Automan? Sounds familiar. Greetings from the Netherlands. Cheers, fam. Kevin, I see there is no shortage of crazy today. 100% with you on that. There is no second best. Tell him, Kevin. Tell him.
Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. It isn't slightly different.
Time to teach others to read. JV, you might enjoy the book, Destiny of the Souls by Michael Newton. I appreciate the recommendation. Bitcoin is the currency of the new, whatever that says, the new flat earth. Send Bruce Lee out. Is Bruce here? Lee Jun Fan, are you here, brother?
I said, empty your mind. Be formless.
Whoa, empty your mind, be formless. That's pretty deep. Go on, Bruce.
Shapeless, like water.
I like it.
Now you put water into a cup.
Carlos recommends Tangent, says simple but efficient.
It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Translation, you put Bitcoin into the treasure, it becomes the treasure. Now, Bitcoin can flow or it can crash. Be Bitcoin, my friend. JV reads like a mofo. F that guy. Thank you, fam. JV, there's also strange symbolism with the Vatican. I've been to the Vatican on my Rome trip. I went to Europe for like 30 days, traveled all around, did my thing as my family comes from Italy. I am Italiano. So, the Vatican was the most creepiest thing I've ever done. Like, it's just creepy. It's just a creepy place to be, and I'll leave it at that. I did the whole Vatican tour. Extremely creepy. Extremely creepy. Be water, my friend. I love hearing Bruce Lee when he is excited and filled with symbolism. The most interesting to me, of course, the huge pine cone thing at the Vatican, which represents the third eye. So I'm not talking about satanic symbolism in this sense. There was a pineal or pine cone representing the pineal gland, which is the third eye. To me, that was the most interesting, but demonic symbolism all over the place. There is no second best indeed. OGs, remember, they roll back ETH to sweet their foul up. Yep. You put fiat into Bitcoin, you become wealthy. I like that, Tyler. The glass will always be half empty or half full, but the water will always be water. Good point. Parli Italiano. Well, I'm 100%. My mom's side of the family is Sicilian. My father's side is Napoletan from Naples. The year of the dragon 2024 Chinese New Year is going to be a Bitcoin sell-off, says Dan. Good afternoon, Tim's Crypto. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We still got so much to cover. I can't believe we've been going on already for 50 minutes. So let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss these Bitcoin ETFs in a little more detail. As the headline reads, Bitcoin ETFs amassed 95,000 BTC in 6 days and now approaching $4 billion in assets under management. The recently approved spot ETFs now collectively hold 95,000 Bitcoin after only 6 days of trading, with roughly $4 billion in assets under management. And in data disclosed by Eric Balchunas, a senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg, the capital influx into the recently launched ETFs have surpassed the outflows from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Let's go. GBTC's assets under management have decreased by $2.8 billion in the first 6 days of trading. That's pretty crazy. And amongst the ETFs, Fidelity's and Blackrock's iShares, Bitcoin Trust have both had over $1.2 billion in inflows. And although FBTC has slightly higher inflows, iBit currently has more in assets under management. And with $1.4 billion compared to Fidelity's nearly $1.3 billion, as Balchunas points out here, you can see day 6 highlighted in the yellow. You can see the totals, and you can see how much Bitcoin is currently being held. Fidelity now has over 30,000 BTC, like whoa, and iShares 33,000, which is virtually Blackrock. You got ARK 21 shares, it looks like, with 9,000, Invesco 6,000. You got VanEck with over 10,000. I'm sorry, that was Bitwise with over 10,000, 2,500 for VanEck. And the list goes on and on. So Invesco's ETF came in third and has maintained steady growth. Friday, January 19th, marked its best day for inflows, attracting over 63 million. And although its total assets under management have not surpassed the 200 million mark, VanEck's ETF also had its best day for inflows on Friday, pushing its total assets under management beyond $100 million. And on the 5th trading day, the Bitcoin ETFs netted a combined $440 million in Bitcoin from investors, according to data gathered by CC15 Capital. BlackRock's iBit led the way with 8,700 BTC, valued at nearly $358 million. The data revealed that 9 ETFs, excluding Grayscale, acquired almost 68,500 BTC, valued at around $2.8 billion since their inception. Meanwhile, January 18th, Balchunas shared data emphasizing the newborn 9, his term for the new spot Bitcoin ETFs, excluding GBTC, experiencing a 34% increase in daily trading volume by the 5th day of trading. So how do you think trading volume will likely commence as we move on the next week here with Monday markets reopening? Let me know, family. Pulled my parents out of Merrill Lynch and ended to Fidelity to buy the ETF. That's what's up. Screw Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch is anti-Bitcoin. Bank of America, these old oligarchs are anti-Bitcoin, and of course the other one, the big asset manager Vanguard, they're all anti-Bitcoin, even though Vanguard is the primary shareholder of MicroStrategy, meaning they own more shares of MicroStrategy than any other company, and yet they're anti-Bitcoin. So just shows you how hypocritical these mofos are. Automan character I came up with in high school. That's what's up, brother. Cheers, family. I am Italian, Irish, Polish, Jewish, and Native American, but considered white. There you go, Casey. Welcome to America. Automan character I came up with at high school. Okay. Why is Vanguard against the Bitcoin ETFs if they own 8.2%? Because they're the old money oligarchs, and they do recognize that Bitcoin destroys maybe their monopoly. Maybe it's because they're controlled by the, powers that be. And to the powers that be, clearly Bitcoin is an enemy, right? For the people who control the money printers, Bitcoin is the biggest enemy in their life. Mark my words, because Bitcoin decapitates the heads from the central banking cartels. Facts. You will know the tree by its fruit. So you're telling me we can talk Bitcoin, UFC, and conspiracy theories on here? I'm in. Yes, but we limit the conspiracy theories. We save that. Really, we get more in detailed on Rumble, because this is YouTube, and they are gatekeepers of the truth, unfortunately. I think you guys all know that, though. So we touch upon them here and there, but we dive deep on the uncensored version of the show exclusively on Rumble. So I encourage you to join us over there. You'll really appreciate it. Because they say one thing and do another. The powers that be want to buy and don't want us raising the price. Pretty much data biter. 80s TV show titled JD. Oh, what show are we talking about there, Snippet? Casey, I am Sicilian, Native American, and German. I get you. I remember that. I am very bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. If we break below 40 G's, watch out. Just be cautious over these next few weeks. True. Always be cautious. I agree with that.
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the
be formless like water, my friend.
thing that you don't want to sell it, Go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years.
Yeah. What do we do then, Michael?
And you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Done deal. Game on. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. We're still live. We're already going on for almost an hour. So let's dive into our next story. Got a few more things to share with you. Let's discuss the latest here with Blackrock before we dive into the most recent news with a 1 million Bitcoin buy-in. For clarity, we're not talking 1 million worth of Bitcoin. We're talking 1 million BTC. Massive difference, family. But anyways, here we go. The headline reads, BlackRock seeks SEC approval to offer options on spot Bitcoin ETFs. iShares Bitcoin Trust now holds over 28,620 Bitcoin. BlackRock, as we know, is the world's largest asset manager, is seeking to offer options on its spot Bitcoin ETF, the iShares Bitcoin Trust. Meanwhile, NASDAQ, which lists and trades IBIT, filed a proposed rule change, Form 19B4, with the US SEC on Friday to list and trade options on IBIT. In its SEC filing, here's what the NASDAQ explained. The exchange believes that offering options on the trust, IBIT, will benefit investors by providing them with an additional, relatively lower cost investing tool to gain exposure to spot Bitcoin, as well as hedging vehicle to meet their investment needs in connection with Bitcoin products and positions. Bloomberg analyst Seyfarth commented, the SEC has already acknowledged the 19B4s requesting the ability to trade options on spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is faster than SEC typically moves. And he also opined options could be approved before the end of February if the SEC wants to move fast. At the absolute earliest, options are still 21 plus days away. And following NASDAQ's filing, the SEC opened the comment period for the proposed rule change to list and trade options on iShares Bitcoin Trust. The comment period lasts for 21 days after the publication in the Federal Register. And since its launch January 19th, BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust has accumulated a whopping 28,622 Bitcoins with a market value of $1.2 billion as of January 8th, as disclosed right here. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen strong trading volume since they launched January 11th. Balchunas detailed the 9 spot Bitcoin ETFs and saw another jump in volume on Friday, up 12% compared to Thursday and 53% from Wednesday. He called it a rare phenomenon. The analyst further noted that Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund and BlackRock's IBIT are in a legit duel to be number one, or the one. Nonetheless, he emphasized, all of them posting huge numbers for newbies. Competition is making them hustle twice as hard. Now, we all know competition is a beautiful thing. The SEC approved all 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs January 10th, and besides Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, which converted from their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, we have BlackRock's IBIT leading the pack in terms of total trading volume, and closely followed by Fidelity's FBTC, which I think is the most hilarious ticker of them all. Now, Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF has seen significant outflow of Bitcoin since January 12th. The trust has witnessed a cumulative outflow of 50,106 BTC. Good Lord. Valued at more than $2 billion, and according to Balchunas, BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF is at the top 15 of all ETFs by assets and the top 2% by daily trading volume. That's right. Now check this out. The volume of the Bitcoin ETFs have actually surpassed silver. I don't know how long the silver ETFs have been trading, but a very long time. It only took Bitcoin 1 week to topple silver. Now already we're 1/3 of the way of basically taking over gold as well. So let that sink in. In 1 week, the ETF volume has eclipsed silver and is on the way of overtaking gold. Now the gold market cap, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's probably roughly 13 trillion at this time and stage. Bitcoin is probably just north of 800 billion. So we have a long ways to go and climb, but you already know Bitcoin has taken over, and eventually all these assets will trend towards zero against the king, just as they have been over the past 15 years. Let me know your thoughts on that. I bit my tongue. That's actually funny. Love it, man. I couldn't agree more reading my comments. Shout out to Casey Gates. Another membership was just gifted of the MicroStrategy level. We appreciate it. It looks like Tim's Crypto. You have been blessed. So please thank Casey. And thanks for all your support, Casey. We appreciate you, brother. I made my parents FBTC. Down with the World Economic Forum. Preach. Kaizen, the volume on the ETFs are huge. It is breaking all records. And would you expect anything less from the most pristine collateral and perfect form of money with a finite limited supply? Absolutely not. By the way, guys, maths show that the ETFs will eat up 3 million Bitcoin in 2024. Wow. I mean, at the rate they're going, I wouldn't even question that anymore. They're stacking mass Bitcoin. Silver equals age is 47. What? Main story. Woohoo. We're getting there, family. We're getting there. Your car wouldn't work. Your TV won't work. Nothing would work, says Dan. The fiat dam is cracking, and so the money will flow. Bring it in. Atom, half like Bitcoin, half against Bitcoin. This is their playbook. Oh, like create the duality there, fam. Funding both sides of the war, confusing the people. Next spike is going to be the sovereign fund, Saudi oil money. That's our next story of the day. We're about to break down 110,000 by the end of 2024. Send it. I do feel I'm still optimistic. We can see 6 figures this year, regardless of the temporary setback here with the ETFs, with the sell-off. Howdy, first-time viewer from Palm Beach. Shout out to Lovin' Cole. We appreciate you tuning in from Palm Beach. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm happy to give you an on-screen shout-out and congratulate you. Yo, hey, from the UK. Shout out to Ollie G. What it do, G? Where's Max's 500 silver? Crypto Kiwi. Only 164,250 BTC will be mined 2025. Whoa. Is that from Jorn there? Elon XRP, says David number 23. Does that mean you're bullish on Elon and XRP? Or are you saying that it's Elon's XRP? Let me know. Jennifer, 100,000 just before the halving. I dig it. I would love to see 100 G's. I do still think we're going to hit the cycle peak next year, but I'm optimistic we can still do 100,000 in 2024. What do you guys think? I used to love Ollie G. Oh, snap. I do remember Ollie G, the guy who played Borak. Wow. Yeah, that was epic. He'd do those interviews. Oh, man. Trump 2024. Well, I just heard that DeSantis is going to be supporting Trump, just as Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out and is now, supporting Trump, which ultimately means all their followers are more than likely going to now support Trump, because what other options do they have? You read like a normal person, just find G's stuck up people. Appreciate it, man. Smoke 1 for JV. Please, smoke 2 for JV. 6 gram blunt, please, for JV. It's Elon CCP. Yes. Boom, boom. Yeah. We have already mined over 90%. Per year numbers are going to get ridiculously small going forward. JV, are you doing the halving countdown? Yeah, we should. I think we got 90 days. Last I checked, it was scheduled to take place around April 19th. It's January 21st. Safe to say 3 months, right? 90 days-ish. And of course, we'll be counting down as we get closer and closer. We'll be talking more and more about it. As we'll move away from the ETF buzz everyone's talking about, and we'll move into the halving for sure. 7 grams. Now we're talking flying tiger. If we hit a new all-time high before the halving, that would be unprecedented and a signal we're heading into a super cycle. You're right, Jess, everything. So Nipsey's throwing his paws up right now. He agrees. So you heard it first. You got the signal from the Nipster. Go RFK. How is he doing in the race? I don't really follow closely, so you guys got to let me know. Does he have a certain percentage of the votes already, or is that all yet to be determined? Usually they'll show you how good a candidate is doing, but it could be misleading. Who knows how they're really doing, right? Mainstream media does nothing but lie. DeSantis is toast if he didn't jump back on the Trump wagon. If we hit a new all-time high, yeah, I agree with that. 88 days, 19 hours till the halving. I dig it, I dig it. Maybe we should have a halving countdown somewhere on the stream as we get closer. Why not? We now have almost 800 people here. I'm going to sip some more of my kombucha. And then we'll dive into our feature story of the day. Pump the likes to pump the streams. If you're just joining us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. Church is in session. We're here 7 days a week, family. Appreciate all y'all's support. Is Trump against Bitcoin? Honestly, yeah. He said in his own words when asked about it in an interview, and I've played the clips before, I've reacted to them, I've created shorts on them. He ultimately said something along the lines, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. It undermines the value of the US dollar. And as president, it's my job to keep a strong US dollar. So he recognizes that Bitcoin decapitates the heads of the fiat currency regime. And so he knows. Of course, RFK ain't got no traction. He is hated by all sides, says XX. Is Trump against? Oh, yeah, so I answered that one for you. 74 already on Rumble. Good to note. Get those numbers up. Shout out to the Rumble fam. When the stream ends on the tube, we'll be exclusive there for the uncensored version of the show. JV, we need a 2100-hour countdown clock to the happening. I like it. Link versus bigger gains. H-bar. Man, good question. I think they're both great projects. Morgan, I'm bullish on both. I think they'll both do very well this cycle. I don't know which one will outperform the other. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm on both listening. Respect. Sailing, fishing, twins. Oh, wow. Did it always say sailing, fishing, twins? Didn't it used to say sailing with twins? You update the name? I like it, though. Sailing, fishing, twins. Trump has to say that he is for the dollar, of course, because the people will put him in power and allow him to be in power. You already know. Got H-bar, says Adam. Isn't it ironic that Trump launched 3 NFT collections on the Ethereum blockchain? What's that about? Mugshot collection. Good Lord. Bloody Monday coming? I hope not. I prefer no blood in the markets. Casper, which is best. Well, Casper is a friendly ghost, so I don't think no one would deny that. Casper, I don't know that ghost. Is that another ghost? Trump will realize that Bitcoin can save the dollar if we adopt it and use it. So do you think that Trump has no handlers? Do you think it's allowed there a president of the United States that doesn't have handlers? Like, I'm just curious. That's an honest question for you guys. I'd love to know. Trump in a recent speech said, no US CBDC. Wonder how he'd pull that off. I mean, they know that many of us are opposed to it and that we're on to them, and they know what to say to get the vote. Do they have the power to prevent a CBDC, a president? No. This is a global cabal, family. This is a global cabal. I'll leave it at that. He has advisors. Well, of course he has advisors. He also has handlers. Yeah. He'll get orange pills soon. Trump is launching a Bitcoin ordinals collection in a few weeks. Don't fade the Bitcoin ordinals. That'd be something. He should have launched the mugshot collection on the ordinals instead of the Ethereum. Anyways, family, let's get to our feature story of the day. Pump the likes to pump the stream. I greatly appreciate it. And let's get this show on the road. Now for our featured story of the day, we're going to be discussing a 1 million Bitcoin buy. But don't get it twisted. I'm not talking $1 million. That wouldn't even be significant. We're talking about 1 million BTC, which would be a humongous buy. Keep that in mind. Satoshi's wallets collectively hold 1.1 million Bitcoin. Well, what if one sovereign wealth fund or one country were to purchase 1 million Bitcoin? That's what we're going to be discussing right now. Here's some thoughts from Max Keiser. He posted this January 19th. So this was 2 days ago. Already got a 250,000 views. He wrote, these two guys are loving the Bitcoin sale going on right now. Wouldn't be surprised if major news hits the tape next week. Now, this was off the back of a post he made December 29th, a few weeks ago, where he wrote, these two are teaming up to make Larry Fink, which is ultimately Blackrock, and Michael Saylor look like peanuts with a buy order of 1 million BTC and a $100,000 God candle. Send it. So this is ultimately the prince of Saudi Arabia. We're talking about oil money entering Bitcoin. This is significant. Also, there was a news story a few weeks ago I covered on the pod that the largest oil company in Saudi Arabia, which is Saudi Aramco, correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but anyways, they partnered with the largest Japanese bank, which is SBI Holdings, and they're looking to get into digital assets. What's the number one digital asset on the planet? Bitcoin. He also wrote here, you don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. Facts. And Jamie Dimon in cuffs. Let me know if you agree with that. If you'd love to see Jamie Dimon in cuffs, put a 1. in the live chat. I can't stand the guy personally, and I think he belongs next to Bankman-Fried in a prison cell. But hey, I digress. He also shared here, loving the price action. Wouldn't be surprised if big news hits the tape next week. And here he's referring to a post he did December 3rd. I have one word for you, $100,000. Bitcoin God Candle fans, Qatar. The rumors are getting very loud on this. Their sovereign wealth fund is rumored to be looking to buy $500 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now that would be a very clearly substantial purchase. He also wrote here, doubling down on these thoughts, the Saudis will make Saylor look like a peanut 100%. A $500 billion buy order triggering a God Candle is a done deal. And this was off the back of the news shared here. Breaking news, the big oil money to enter Bitcoin. The 90-year-old Saudi Arabian Salafist cleric writes a fatwa deeming Bitcoin acceptable under Islam. In fact, I read that entire fatwa to you a couple of weeks ago on the show. He also wrote here, the God Candle is a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin, and it is in play. It will shift the global access to wealth and power in a single tick. And I'm going to continue with the thread. Here you can see Bukele, president of El Salvador, actually meeting with this guy who is the head of Qatar. You could say the president, the emir, the prince, however you want to coin it. But obviously talking about something, and that kind of went under the radar, that news. I think there's some more info in this thread here too. As we scroll down, let's get to the next one. Here are some of the headlines. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund eyes $500 billion Bitcoin investment. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund has recently entered the volatile yet promising world of Bitcoin, signaling a significant shift in the global financial landscape. Another headline is a God Candle to 100,000 possible for Bitcoin. Well, you let me know, family. He also, a headline here, Qatar's rumored 500 billion Bitcoin investment fuels a market frenzy. And one more headline, Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund is reportedly ready to splash a jaw-dropping 500 billion on Bitcoin. Splash, splash. And some more tweets from the high priest. He actually shared this video clip here. It says, Max Keiser explains the Bitcoin God particle. Where do you think the God Candle comes from? Now, when he's referring to God Candle, he's suggesting a $100,000 increase of the Bitcoin price on the daily charts. Now, Samson Mao refers to the God Candle as a 10,000 price action, and he renamed it the Omega Candle. But let me know your thoughts, family. And shout out to Max Keiser. I definitely want to retweet this for him. Spread the word. And be sure to check that out on X as I just retweeted it. Now, also, this was news I covered, maybe, let me see the exact date. This was on January 1st. So the first day of the year to kick off 2024, got 30,000 views. And I wrote, BRICS just officially doubled overnight. Now, welcome UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Iran to the BRICS. And then quoted Max, the Saudis will make Saylor look like a peanut. A 500 billion Bitcoin buy order triggering a God Candle is a done deal. And this was off the back of the news shared by Mario Nafal. BRICS doubles overnight. And I'm sure you've been following the BRICS movement. Is ultimately a movement of de-dollarization of countries collectively gathering around the world. So he wrote here, today the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Iran are officially members of BRICS. They joined Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa as a formidable economic powerhouse, representing 29% of the global GDP and 43% of the global oil production. Although tensions exist between member states, such as China and India, BRICS is a growing challenge to the G7. President Xi, quoting him here, I wish to extend a warm welcome to leaders of new BRICS members. And this was a source coming from the IMF themselves, Reuters, and China Daily. So BRICS continues to double, and now you have the Middle Eastern oil money entering BRICS. What do you think is likely to happen next? Let me know your thoughts, fam. Now, regarding government seizure of Bitcoin ETFs, it's important I share this as well, as Max has been blowing the whistle to ultimately never trust your government, because all Bitcoin ETF BTC is 100% confiscatable. The only type of Bitcoin unconfiscatable is self-custodied Bitcoin, in which you hold the private keys to. So quoting Max, he says, here's basically what can go down. Number one, the government seizes the ETF for national security. What would that look like? Biden writes a letter to Coinbase saying, for national security purposes, we need to seize all the Bitcoin ETF BTC because it's a direct threat to the US dollar. And so therefore it's a direct threat to the United States of America. And so therefore Coinbase will be like, okay, government, here's all the Bitcoin. And that's how easy it would be, hypothetically. Now, number two, before they send you your US dollars, number three, price moves up 100 G's. Number four, you pay tax on the gain from the payout. And with what's left, you buy Bitcoin at a price 100,000 higher. Number five, the price crashes. And number six, you are now sitting at a net losing position from where you started. That's right, because you also got to contemplate that when you purchase the ETF, you're doing it with US dollars. And when you exit the ETF, they're giving you the USD equivalent. So what makes you think they can't just say, hey, here's the CBDC equivalent, and you're never going to see the Bitcoin. And then by the time you try to purchase the Bitcoin, maybe it does shoot up 100,000 as he's suggesting here. Don't put it past them. We're dealing with tyrants, family, 100%. If you think Bitcoin ETF, BTC, can and will be seized by corrupt governments, put a 1 in the live chat. Let me know, family. And some more tweets. He wrote, the GBTC Bitcoin rotation dance will soon hit equilibrium, and new all-time highs will quickly follow. The net inflow into Bitcoin is rising. The rotation out of GBTC is masking a net increase in demand. An inflection point is imminent. $220,000 is in play. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. We know GBTC can only sell so much Bitcoin onto the open market. Eventually, it's going to run dry, and then, you already know the name of the game. And some more tweets here. A desperate Jamie Dimon has teamed up with Liz Warren to write new bills that mandate Satoshi's going to increase the Bitcoin supply. And if you missed the interview at Davos, ultimately Jamie Dimon, the corrupt banker and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, he ultimately said, how can we trust that Satoshi doesn't come back and extend the supply of Bitcoin past 21 million? No one believes it's going to stop at 21 million. So yeah, this is the latest Bitcoin FUD, family. You can't make this ish up. Now also, Max tweeted here, I like ARK B. Kathy Wood is the Michael Saylor of fund managers. She does her homework, and a full disclosure, I put $100,000 of my petty cash, aka fiat trash, into ARK B yesterday. So he is a big fan of Kathy Wood. He's been sharing a lot of her stuff, and he is now has an investment in her fund. And this was the Newborn 9 tweet that Eric Balchunas made, the ETF expert. This is interesting. The Newborn 9 actually saw a 34% jump in volume today versus yesterday. Normally, with a hyped up launch, you see volume steadily decrease each day post-launch. It's rare to see it reverse back up. All but one saw a jump too, but GBTC changed flat. So it wasn't a volatility thing, but a good sign, in my opinion. A couple of more tweets. He wrote here, Barry Silbert will be seen by history as, number one, Bitcoin early adopter. If you don't know who he was basically the president or head guy or founder of Grayscale. Number two, beat Gensler in the SEC in court to get the Bitcoin ETFs approved. Now, this is significant because in Gensler's own words in a recent interview, after allowing and accepting the Bitcoin ETFs to go live, like all 11 of them, he said, if it wasn't for losing the court battle against the Grayscale, that they would have never changed their stance and allowed the Bitcoin ETF. Let's not forget, for 10 years, the SEC denied spot Bitcoin ETF while approving futures. And Grayscale ultimately sued them, and they lost that lawsuit in court. And as a result, Gary was they forced his hand over at the SEC to approve the ETFs. And now Gary is still spitting rubbish. Use case is illicit activity. Meanwhile, they did studies, and it's like 98% of dollars and US fiat capital has traces of drugs on it. Guess what? Drugs are illegal. So the US dollar is the prime suspect for the biggest use case of illicit activity. I just want to point out the obvious. Number three, New York agreement, big blocker fork wars, loser, thanks to the folks over at Bitfinex. So I just found it very interesting that he had to step down. I think it was some sort of internal play with regulators because they made CZ step down, the CEO of Binance, and replace him with some suit who's probably going to play ball with the SEC. You know what I mean? It's like an insider from their organization, and probably did something similar with Grayscale now that we actually got the ETFs, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that, family. Now, Max also wrote here, centralized garbage going to 1 penny, referring to XRP, which has now officially been the worst performing crypto asset in the top 10 since after 2017. Now, 2017, I got to give credit. XRP was the #1 performing crypto asset of the entire ecosystem, right? But since then, it's kind of just been surviving. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with the sentiment of Max or disagree? Now, another headline, they actually made a story on it. Max Keiser expects XRP to crash to 1 penny, but I actually want to focus just here in this one story. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund eyeing this 500 billion Bitcoin investment. Let's go. Now, the move by Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund is likely motivated by the potential for substantial returns and an increasing acceptance of Bitcoin as a legitimate asset class. So let's explore this news. Bitcoin pioneering crypto has witnessed surge in institutional interest in recent years, with major corporations and financial institutions incorporating it into their investment portfolios. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund, responsible for managing the country's vast oil and gas-generated wealth, is now positioning itself. Its idea is to leverage and benefit of this evolving financial landscape. And you can see the news here. You got a picture with Bukele along with the Emir of Qatar. Just in, Max reports of rumors that Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund has entered the Bitcoin market and could be interested in purchasing up to 500 billion worth of BTC. This move by Qatar's Sovereign Wealth Fund also reflects the growing trend of institutional investors diversifying their portfolios by allocating funds to digital assets, recognizing the potential for higher returns as well as long-term value. Now, do you think they will convert this sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin? Do you think it'll be the entire thing? Do you think it'll be a portion? Do you think it'll be a long-term play? Whatever your ideas or thoughts are, let me know, family. Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund is known for its meticulous and strategic investment decisions. It often focuses on assets with long-term growth and potential. And by entering the Bitcoin market, their sovereign wealth fund is making a bold statement about its confidence in the longevity and resilience of digital currencies, Bitcoin specifically. This could also catalyze other sovereign wealth funds and institutional investors to explore opportunities within the crypto space. So actually, I want to discuss this really quick. That's just one sovereign wealth fund from one small country. What happens when there's game theory in full effect, just like we witnessed this year in 2024 with the spot ETFs? What if you got a sovereign wealth fund from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, who knows, India, China, Russia? You know what I mean? What are some other spots? Canada, potentially, Panama, maybe some more countries in South America like Suriname, who already announced adopting Bitcoin and taking 1% of their central bank reserves, putting it into the king crypto. You know what I mean? What if Argentina, massive population. You got Javier Milei at the helm right now, leading their country, and he is anti-establishment, so he claims, and anti-CBDCs, anti-central bank. What happens when all of these countries coming together to purchase Bitcoin, and everyone's trying to outdo each other, kind of like the wealthy people with yachts? I got a yacht. My yacht is bigger. You should see my yacht. You know what I mean? Same concept. We call this game theory, and it's in effect, in the flesh. Right now, what's going to happen? We have more nations around the world adopting Bitcoin. What if Colombia adopts Bitcoin as a legal tender? Do you know their president is actually a Bitcoin holder? We know this as fact because Samson Mao orange pilled him. He actually went down to Colombia and gifted the president 100,000 Satoshis, right? So you know they're talking about it. What about Mexico? What if they were to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender? So you have game theory playing out in all elements and aspects right now with BTC, and we're just getting started. So let me know your thoughts, family. I'm going to read as many of the comments as I can out loud during our Q&A session before we switch on over to Rumble. So let's get it. The gold market doesn't make sense in a digital society. Precisely. Why do you want physical things in a digital society? Digital wealth is superior because it can't be confiscated. Gold, clearly, they can put tracking devices in your gold, as I already mentioned. They can come scoop it up. You try traveling with it. Oh, is that a gold bar? That's worth over 10,000. Snatch a Rooney. Bada boom, bada bing. Beer says Keiser is a clown. XRP to a penny. Solana back down to 20 bucks. Blackrock will destroy Bitcoin. Dude, it's just a maxi. But I am down for the 100K candle. Thanks for expressing your honesty, Beer. I respect it. ETF bull run starts soon. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Game theory is playing out on Wall Street as we speak. Why not with nations? 100%. The next level is nations and sovereign wealth funds. It's a coming. Mark my words. Melda, that's got to feel a bit nipply. Is it cold out there? Polar bears, this cold weather. Shout out to Dankness. Appreciate your family. Yeah, plug into the Discord. Discord link on the screen. Yeah, I run through the lawn sprinkler today. What? Keiser has his agenda, specifically El Salvador promotion, but he ain't stupid. No, Keiser's a genius. Anyone who invested all in Bitcoin back in 2011 is a freaking genius. We'll leave it at that. Mohammed, we can't wait for your cousins. Yes, Mohammed, where you at, big dog? We're waiting. Bring it. Are we going to get the big news next week? What do you guys think? If would need the XRP army to agree, it's worth a penny, so therefore it's 50 cents. JV, what do you think is really going on in Antarctica? Man, that's something I'll talk about on Rumble. It's not something I'd be willing to talk about on the tube because my following is becoming respectable here. And the bigger your following becomes, the less free speech you are awarded with. And if I say things about things they're gatekeeping and protecting people from learning about, I would be targeted. And it's not worth it. So can't discuss that on the tube. Happy to discuss it on Rumble, as we typically do. I don't hold back on Rumble. I'll tell you how I really feel. What part about the 1 million buy next week? Well, I shared with you 2 quotes. I'm going to read them out loud again. One was a tweet he wrote. These 2 are teaming up to make Larry Fink, Blackrock, and Saylor look like peanuts with a buy order of 100,000 God candle. And then he wrote, these 2 guys are loving Bitcoin sale going on right now. Wouldn't be surprised if major news hits the tape next week. So there's been no confirmation. It's speculation. He just said, I would not be surprised if this major news hits the tape next week. So Max is saying at these prices, he would not be surprised if they pull the trigger. So that's the gist of it, family. Nippinator, Nipsey for president. Amen. So how do we get on Rumble? You just go to Rumble, type in Crypto News Alerts, or click the description or the link in the description. In the description below my video, I always have all my social media links. You'll notice it's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. We're there each and every day. That's for the uncensored version of the show. So typically on the tube, the stream will go for about 90 minutes. Then we'll end the stream and we'll continue with the uncensored version on Rumble for approximately 30 minutes for a collective of roughly 120 minutes each and every day. And then what we do is we edit this live stream, the 2-hour transmission, and we condense it into 30 minutes, just bada boom, bada bing, straight news, no Q&A. We take out all the talk back and forth. So it's just streamlined, and we premiere the streamlined version of the show exclusively on YouTube in the evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'm here every evening on the tube, and we're here every day. Typically, it's the afternoon. FYI, today is Sunday already, so tomorrow we're changing the schedule up. So I'll be taking my daughter to school back and forth throughout the week. So starting tomorrow through Thursday, we're going to be extra early. It'll more than likely be 11 a.m. or possibly even 12 p.m., but it's going to be a few hours early than typical just this week. And then next week, it'll go back. I think Friday, we'll switch it up again, yada, yada, yada. So it's not always the same time. I got to keep you guys on your toes. I bought some Bitcoin at $300 to buy weed once. Didn't start accumulating Bitcoin till it hit 4,000. Word. Oh, what year was that? And that's actually interesting. Yesterday, there was nothing on Rumble that I could see. Rumble was glitching. That's why no one can find the show. I was there, but no one was able to find it. Very few. So instead of a few thousand views, we only had a few hundred, which means thousands of people couldn't find it. But it should be working and back to normal. Because earlier we already had 100 people on the stream. Jamie Dimon is ridiculous. He sure is, Jose. Don't like XRP, XLM, Stronghold, thoughts? Well, I'm not a fan of those projects because anything that supports CBDCs, I'm against, because I don't support CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies. Now, XRP is the chosen bridge currency to help, I guess, launch these CBDCs and make them a possibility. So what does that mean? JV doesn't support tyranny. I don't support my oppressors. And even though I know it has a huge upside potential, because once XRP was like close to $4 a coin, and right now it's 50 cents, even if I had the ability to get rich off supporting my oppressors, I wouldn't do it. The same way, I knew vaccines were going to be a huge thing. I've been anti-vaccine for like 20 years and very vocal about it as well, because I understand what they're used for, which is population control. So like I could have invested in all these vaccine stocks alongside Bill Gates, but I would never invest in something that is supporting our oppressors and the demise of humans. So that's how I look at XRP. Hopefully that makes some sense. I second that with dankness. JB, how do you continue this membership after the gift runs out? I think then you got to pay. It's free for 1 month, and then you just need to upgrade. I think for the lowest level, it's $2.99-ish, which would be the HODL Gang level. I think MicroStrategy is $4.99-ish. So, and then we have some other levels. So any level of support helps. We appreciate it, even if it's only the $2.99. Even if you can't even, contribute by becoming a member, you're still contributing and supporting the show by pumping the likes. So everyone can do that. You just got to be logged in, pump the likes, pump the stream, interact, and you're helping JV. So if you want to help, just interact. You don't have to actually purchase any memberships. That whisper, you already know. Legend of Melda. Shit's getting real. Then I started buying Bitcoin, was directly from Chinese miners on the 9KYC platform. What up, Nuck? So Western Union banned, screw Western Union from their platform. I was honest about why I was sending money to China. Wow. They can care less. That's incredible. Sorry to hear that. I've actually lived in China. I spent 13 months there, 2010, 2011. I was teaching English. I taught English for adults, private school, upper scale in a mall. And I also taught lower class at elementary school. I taught children, and the bathrooms are so they don't have toilets. You think they have toilets? Yes, at the shout out Silas. I appreciate it. Maybe Litecoin is the second best. Appreciate that. And thanks for being a member of the channel family. Thank you. Appreciate it. But anyways, private schools have toilets like in the United States, but public school, there's no toilets. There's a hole. There's just holes in the ground. And you just go in. It's so bad where if any of you actually went in the restroom at the public elementary school, you would throw up. JV had to put a shirt over his mouth and hold my breath, because if I didn't, I would literally throw up. It's that disgusting. Right? Talk about poverty. I've lived in a city with extreme poverty in Taiyuan, China, Shanxi province. There's no Americans. That's why I was there. They were willing to pay at the time for me, compared to all the other options, a lot of money. If you go to Shanghai or what's it called? What's the capital? Slipped my mind. Beijing. There's a lot of foreigners there because it's a great place to be. It's very advanced. It's cool. It's a happening city, fast paced, yada, yada, yada. But if you go to a local city where there's no foreigners, there's typically a reason. And they were willing to pay a lot more. So I bit the bullet, and I lived in extreme poverty for about a year in China, living with the people, and they all wear masks. This is before COVID. It's normal protocol, because if you don't wear the mask, by the end of the day, your boogers are black, and you have so much pollution that you're ingesting from their, trash and smog. You can't even see any stars where I lived. Shout out to Hoodrich. Appreciate support. It was so polluted, you couldn't even recognize stars. You're lucky if you're able to see the moon. But that's how backwards some of these cities are, man, in China. And believe it or not, where I lived in Taiyuan, not Taiwan, Taiyuan, used to be the capital of China way back in the day. And it's now the coal capital. Why is there so much pollution? It's the coal capital of China. So now you learned something. Wear nappies, and they wear nappies. But they kind of have to, because like I said, you don't want to ingest all that pollution. It's going to shorten your lifespan, maybe 10, 20 years. So that's why they're wearing it. I'm not saying that wearing the mask will even help them. I have no clue. But just goes to show you how bad the pollution is in China. It's insane. Keep up with the good morals, dude. I appreciate it, family. Where are you from? I recognize some Asian symbols. I don't know if that's Japanese. Let me know. Yeah. Times Square, yo. Oh, man. Love hearing about your travels and experiences. Thanks. You're welcome, JB. Always fun. Thanks for asking. Love it. My favorite Chinese dogma. Is that what it says? Dog meal. Oh man. So yeah, another story. They commonly eat dog meat. Sorry, don't listen, Nipsey. In China, it's called goro, which is dog meat. Now, I'd always have to say boo goro because I don't eat the dog meat. In fact, I was a vegetarian when I lived in China, so I had very limited options on food because they put meat in everything. Pork is very popular because it's the cheapest meat, so everything has pork in it. But I would have to eat at the Muslim spots, which are the darker skin, Chinese, and they make the noodles fresh, like out there in the streets or whatever. But I had to eat at the Muslim spots because they were the only ones that didn't eat meat. Palm Beach Chris, cheers. Appreciate the love, family. Thank you. Trading sent me to Traders Reality, sent me to Jason Casper, sent me to Andy Bitcoin Census, who sent me to Carl the Moon, and I couldn't be numbered to join the idiot, so I went to Frankie Candles. Appreciate sharing your journey. Thank you, Moon Boo Boy. Appreciate that. I meant actual nappies, so you don't need to use those terrible toilets. Oh, yeah. It's gross. I don't know how people do it. Turning off the volume, the boil the dogs. Yeah. So one more story and then we're off to Rumble. True story. So I was teaching English. This was at the private school. So this is like families with money because it's very expensive for them to attend the private school with the English native speaker. Because again, not many English native speakers are even willing to live in that city. So long story short, he shared a story where they ate their family dog. I don't know. Let's hypothetically say the dog was 10 years old and the family, they ate the dog. So I'm like, whoa, why'd you eat your dog, bro? That's gross. And he helped me understand their culture. And he's like, well, first and foremost, we didn't kill the dog. The dog got ran over. It died. It wasn't on purpose. It was on accident. And my entire family that evening had a dinner and we ate the dog. I'm like, why? And he's like, in our culture, it's because we love the dog so much, and he was such a big part of our life that we always wanted to remember him, and the greatest way to do that was to eat him. It's a sign of respect. I'm like, whoa, culture shock. Whoa, so you ate your dog, so you'll never forget him. Wow, different cultures, family. So they perceive things completely differently. You know what I mean? And with that being shared, head on over to Rumble, uncensored version of the show. We're not going to talk about eating dogs any longer because Nipsey is going to be upset with me. But what we're going to do is we're going to have an uncensored version of the show. So head on over to Rumble right now and thank you. YouTube, it's been lit as it is each and every day. Pump the likes, help pump the stream. And if you gain value and you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Now head on over to Rumble. See you there. Cheers.